Are we live? I think we're go. I see a spinny blue circle. Here we go. Hey everybody, welcome back to EricMD. This is our first official video. I'm going to give people a couple seconds to log on here and start watching. So for those of you who watched my first video last night on my personal page, thank you so much for tuning in tonight to watch. For those of you who just liked the page and are seeing it now, thank you for joining us. I had a little intro video just kind of explaining what this is all about. So to give you a little background, EricMD is my new little project, my new platform. Basically all we're doing is we're trying to educate people on healthcare topics. There's a lot of stuff going around. It's either really difficult to understand or not enough time to get it across. So this is a really casual way for us to talk about everything under the sun, from diabetes, cholesterol, arthritis, all the way through coronavirus. So we're going to talk really casually about it. I'll answer questions, and I want some feedback. Let's talk under the comments, suggest some topics as we go through. So that's kind of what we're going to be doing here. This is our first topic. I'm an ophthalmologist, and so of course eyes are my life, and so we're going to talk about digital eye strain and those blue light glasses that you probably saw on Amazon or floating around in your Facebook ads. So before we get into that, the quick disclaimer that we'll kind of do at every beginning of every video is this is not a substitute for real medical advice. This is education, entertainment. Please just use this as ammunition to go prepared to your doctor to make good decisions. I'll hammer this into your heads, but the doctor-patient relationship is a team, okay? And I say doctor, but healthcare professionals, doctors, nurses, PT, OT, dentists, everybody that works in your healthcare team works together. So come in as part of a team member. Don't just do what people tell you to do. Be educated, okay? So that's where we're at. Let's get started. I see a lot of people here. Hey, Carly. Hi, Sarah. How are you guys doing? Thanks for joining in. I see a bunch of people. Okay, so here's where we're at with the digital eye strain. The reason I thought of this was because we're in the middle of a pandemic, if you haven't noticed. A lot of people are working from home, right? A lot of people were furloughed or hopefully working from home. It's a more popular thing to do now. And you're doing a lot of video conferences, right? Zoom got really popular really fast. And you've probably shifted a lot to working from computer or tablet just in general. A lot of things have shifted to that kind of platform. Today's little video, we're going to talk about eye strain, what causes it, and some things you could potentially do about it, or at least why it's recommended. And the blue light glasses, I get asked a lot about, do I need to get some of those? Does blue light hurt your eyes, etc.? So again, we'll go into some education to help you make a good decision, right? Okay, eye strain. There's two problems with that. Constant focusing and your eyes are drying out. That's what it boils down to, okay? So again, really simple, straightforward. Your eye, first of all, is like a camera. I really love visual stuff, and I promise to get more fancy and have some stuff pop up. But for now, here's your camera, right? The real kind of camera. You got a lens in the front, you got film or a digital receiver in the back. Your eye is the same way. It actually sees, hopefully, at a distance, but to see up close, it actually has a zoom mechanism, right? It's a muscle. The fancy word, if you want, it's accommodation. Forget that, never heard it. Your eye can zoom in, just like a camera, but it's a teeny tiny little muscle. So, as you can imagine, if you're used to seeing far away with glasses, contacts, or whatever in general, if you're zooming in your vision all the way up close, it's going to get tired. Here's my analogy for that. Ready? Very simple. Here's a little weight. This one is 3 pounds. Not that heavy. So if you're holding it like this, piece of cake, right? I've definitely not been working out because all the gyms are closed. But I can hold this right here, no problem. However, if I start this at 8 in the morning, by 5 o'clock, it's going to start to hurt. Okay, you're going to get sore. Your eye's the exact same thing. It's got a little muscle in it, and if you're staring at the computer all day, that muscle's contracting really hard, trying to focus in. So that is actually why people get headaches, sometimes what feels like a migraine. It feels like there's a little guy inside your eye socket trying to push your eye out. That's the muscle getting really sore. So that's the main thing. The other thing that can cause some difficulty when you're on the computer is you don't blink a lot. It's actually kind of weird to watch somebody But if you're watching me through this video, either the blink rate's pretty high. While you're talking to people, you're blinking quite a lot. It's active, right? If you're watching TV, if you're reading, if you're on the computer, people tend to stare. You're super focused, and it gets a little creepy because you don't blink. Your eye has to keep blinking to refresh itself. So a lot of times the complaint will be, my vision's getting blurry. It kind of burns a little bit. By the end of the day, you kind of have to do this number. Well, that's because your eyes are drying out. So those are the main reasons why those Zoom conferences are starting to really get on your nerves. And it's not just your boss or your coworkers. Maybe it is. But in terms of your eyes, that's what a lot of the eye strain is. So why or how are your doctors going to recommend treatments for that? And this is where this kind of platform gets fun. If you're paying attention, it kind of already makes sense, okay? If you're holding up a weight and you're focusing on a computer all day, you're contracting and holding up that weight all day, well, how do you get that to relax? You put the weight down, right? So the American Academy of Ophthalmology, the ophthalmologist governing body, has a 20-20-20 rule. Every 20 minutes, look 20 feet away for 20 seconds. Cute little mnemonic, a little difficult to implement, okay? So in general, a lot of eye docs will say every hour that you're working, take a couple minutes and look out a window, right? If you don't have a window, just look far away. All that's doing, it's making that little tiny muscle in your eye just relax. It's giving it a break. And a lot of times that's all that's needed. We've had tons of people get cured from their headaches by just taking a break. It's really difficult, when you're at these meetings all day, or you have something due, or you have these spreadsheets you got to get to, but just look far away. You'll be amazed at how well it works. Some eye doctors can prescribe medicine that kind of acts as a muscle relaxer, but it can make your vision very blurry. So usually the first thing that they may recommend is just taking a break. And it makes sense. Put the weight down. Now, in terms of your eyes drying out, it seems a little difficult to be actively thinking about blinking all day. I think I look pretty ridiculous right now, and people may think you're having, a seizure or something. So please don't just actively try and blink. One recommendation that you may hear of is just some over-the-counter artificial tears. I think of it kind of like a moisturizer. Your eyes are drying out. They're a very sensitive part of your body, and so if you add some sort of lubricant, some sort of moisturizer, it kind of refreshes them throughout the day. Talk to your doctor about which ones they recommend, how often they recommend doing it. It kind of goes up from basics all the way to prescription and invasive ways to keep your eyes hydrated throughout the day. But again, makes sense. If you watch me and I'm staring at the computer, not only is it creepy, but it's starting to burn a little bit. My eyes have to blink. Well, unfortunately, when you're working or when you're doing a presentation over Zoom to a bajillion people, a lot of whom are in charge of your job, you tend not to blink. It's crazy, but watch somebody watch TV or read. They don't blink a whole lot, and you're like, blink, 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 but they don't. So it's amplified when you're working on a computer. So that's kind of digital eye strain. It's really important nowadays when a lot of people are working from home. So take care of your eyes. Talk to your eye doctor about what they recommend. And now you can say, well, should I take a break? What kind of artificial tears or moisturizers do you recommend, right? Makes sense. Blue light. This is really hot right now, right? Blue light blockers, blue glasses. So why do we care? Let's get really, really basic, but a little bit of science. Science is fun. I see Zach Albrecht is watching, right? Zach, science is fun. Blue light, it's a short wavelength of light emitted from a computer, tablet, cell phone, and from the sun. In English, it's just part of white light. Anything that has a white light to it has blue light. Light is made out of different colors, and it's mixed together, and it looks white to you. Fine. So studies showed that the cells in the retina that are exposed to the blue light at high levels just didn't do so well. Exposed to this light at high concentration. So let's translate that a little bit. The retina is the camera film in your eye. So imagine taking, like a Polaroid camera, and you take the film, and you just blast it with light. Of course, it's not going to do well, right? So what they did was the salespeople of the world and some professionals took that data and said, oh yeah, the blue wavelength of light isolated really is harmful for the cells that are responsible for seeing light in your eye. So they have special glasses. They're basically just yellow, and they prevent blue light from getting through it. Okay, this is all come all the way down to the ophthalmologist and optometry world, and it's very popular. It kind of makes sense, right? If it's shown to be harmful, avoid it. Well, if you dig a little deeper, there's a little bit more to it than that. So there was a problem. The cells that they tested weren't really from the retina. They were kind of cousins of the retina. And the way they were exposed to light weren't really how your eye works, right? So there's a little bit of problems with the extrapolation of how that worked. So what does that really mean? Okay, get it, man. So does it work or not? Well, yes. Blue light, in particular, at a really high intensity, can damage your eye. But this is a lot more like staring at the sun, right? Remember when the eclipse came by not too long ago? They said don't look at it. Well, that's a bunch of blue light coming right at you. Okay, but they measured the amount of blue light coming from computers, cell phones, tablets, etc., and it's not that much. So you can't really compare apples to apples there. So, in short, does the light from computers hurt your eyes? Right now, the answer is probably not. You get more harm from staring at the computer, not blink. Sorry, I'll stop doing that. It's creepy. I'm looking at myself, and that's just weird. Not blinking and straining at the computer can cause a lot more discomfort. Now, things are changing. They'll probably do some research to, see if it's really harmful. But the study that they used, studies really didn't apply to a bunch of Zoom calls and looking at this phenomenal video that's taken about 11 minutes. However, the decision for blue light glasses is yours, right? The night mode on the iPhone, that's your decision. I just want you to have information about why it's recommended to make a good call. So if you go to your eye doctor and like, hey, you have a certain condition and we really want you to protect your eyes for wearing blue light blockers, you can say, oh, okay, yeah, the blue light's harmful. Why? Hopefully they'll go into why you in particular may benefit from that. Do you want to go on Amazon and get some blue light blocker glasses? Go for it. It's really not harmful. It just may not be necessary. Okay. So that's kind of what I want to talk about. I want to keep it short. Quick summary. Again, this is your tools to understand what's going on. So if you work on the computer all day, if you're on a tablet or phone and you're starting to get some discomfort, go to your eye doctor. Please see an eye doctor. But go with the understanding here. Eye strain is important to address. Sometimes all it takes is taking some breaks and using some over-the-counter drops. Blue light probably isn't great for your eyes, but what we're using it for isn't likely to cause a lot of harm. Again, different eye doctors may have different data that they want to show to you that may actually warrant wearing them, but at least you'll have a good sense of why it's important to know about it. Okay, so digital eye strain, blue light blockers. Now you have the info. I'm looking over here just to say, hey, Carly. I said hi to Carly. Janet, Zach, so much fun. Thanks. I'm having a blasty blast too. Hi, Jessica. So please comment. We can't give official recommendation here, but if I know something, we'll certainly talk about it. So thanks for watching. Leave comments, ideas, suggestions. This is one of many I want this community to build. And if you're one of the several people watching, help this build. You get to build what this is. Again, as I said in my video before, I can talk about what I want to talk about, but that's going to get boring really quickly. Okay. We have some guests coming soon. I want to do like a Q&A. I'm basically going to be the Oprah of healthcare topics as the host. I don't know if I'm going to yell and give away cars, but maybe. With that said, so if you're a doctor watching this, if you're a doctor, nurse, dentist, PT, OT, any healthcare professional, if you have something that we should talk about, please post, comment. We can have you on. It'll be really fun. We'll talk about it. And especially if you want your patients to know about a certain topic, that we can just break it down like this, sit around at night and just blabber on about, and outside of the office, let's do it. Yes, Debbie says CBD. That is coming. That's a big one. CBD and other types of cannabinoids are really popular, and that is coming. I have a website launching soon, so stay tuned for that. Please like the page so that you get alerts that we're doing this. I know I inundated you with yesterday and today, but I promise we'll just do once a week. So with that said, here's your little teaser. Who is that? Valerie, yes, please, question. Oprah of healthcare topics. Thank you, Jackie. Yes, ask questions. If I don't get it to you live, I'm going to still answer questions the rest of the evening and into tomorrow as the thread goes on. We can answer questions about what I talked about, or if you have ideas for more topics, I got a huge bank forming and we'll just talk about everything. This is going to go on for a long time, I hope, so that everyone can have a place to go to find out more, right? Okay, next week, next Sunday night, right, you're going to get an alert, I promise. We're going to do one more eye topic because, again, it's what I know best. But we're gonna go merge into the coronavirus stuff. So it's something that's kind of been on people's minds because it's about droplets. But can you get coronavirus in your eyes? Right? Can you get it in your eyes, and can you get through your eyes? Should you go out and buy one of those gigantic shields? Does that help? Right? We're gonna talk about why that stuff is important to know so that you can make a good decision. Right? I'm not gonna tell you. You need to figure it out for yourself, but we'll give you the science using hopefully this easy to understand format here. Okay. Thank you all for watching. 15 minutes is plenty. Hope you all have a great week, a good night. Please stay safe, wear your masks, all that good stuff. All right. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you next week. Thank you again.